Okay, so here we are on another Saturday Night Live Zoom with Ivo as special guest. Ivo's been on quite a unique journey. Um, Started off with underweight, which terrifies so many people to start fasting when you're underweight. But when you have an understanding of how the body can find balance and heal, none of these things should put you into a fear state. It's just something that you have to go in with trust and faith and keep going along. There's always the mind happening, as I'm sure you've experienced, the Evo, but
Yep,
we keep
yep,
moving
definitely.
along. We keep moving along. So maybe you want to speak about maybe a little bit about your background and how your traditional diet, where you lived, maybe how you came into going into the health type of lifestyle and so on and so forth. You want to start something like that?
All right. Well, I have an Italian background. I grew up in four countries with Italian parents. So basically, that's typical Southern Italian diet. For me, all my life, I drank a lot of dairy and cheese. Lots. Uh, Pasta every day, all shapes and forms, and with lots of pecorino romano or Parmesan cheese.
Oh yeah, the good
But
stuff.
I drank a lot of milk. I mean, I remember when I was growing up in northern Italy, my parents would send me to our landlord's house when on the weekends, and they had cows, and they would always constantly have to go milk the cow to give me more milk. But yeah, so I grew up with a lot of respiratory issues. I had sleep apnea. I got operated on my nose in 2005 or six, and because I would wake up because I couldn't breathe,
Wow.
and I was constantly congested. It was really bad, and I got the operation. I could breathe a little better, and in the post-operation, the doctor said, "Well, it's more than likely you're going to develop asthma at some point, but don't worry. We'll treat you." And I was thinking, I thought I did
What
this operation.
what did they do in the operation exactly?
Ah, man, if I could remember the acno, what are they called? With lasers, they went in and they made them smaller. The turbines, or I can't think of the exact name now, and
Okay.
uh, in
Okay, it
there.
doesn't matter, but I'm just wondering.
So more basically, so I get more air particles in my nose, and then they, post operation said I'm most likely going to develop asthma, and I'll probably have a lot of allergy issues because I'll be breathing more air particles in, and so going through life, eating everything, and then I was traveling. I was in Venezuela. I had this. I did couch surfing back then, and I was hosted by this reflexologist, and she introduced me to food combining. This book by Daniel Reed, The Tao of Sex, Health, and Longevity. And so I started combining my food correctly, and I noticed. Oh, also, sorry, I should regress. Aside from respiratory issues, I was always tired. I would eat and have to go to sleep. I was. And so I was just constantly tired all day. And especially after I ate, I had to take a nap. And so I was like, "God, this can't be." I was 37 at the time. And I was like, it can't be that I'm always tired. Then I had a severe attention deficit disorder all my life, where like I would be doing something, come downstairs, get something to drink, and forget what I was doing upstairs. I even didn't have access. Like, for example, one time I had to fill out my address somewhere I've been living for years, and I just didn't have access to parts of my brain to access stuff that I should know right away, right off the bat. That's
Yeah.
how severe it was. So I started with food combining, and I felt better. I was still eating everything, and I slowly transitioned within a year, unknowingly, to vegan diet. So slowly transitioning to meats and kind of combining things a la Arnold Ehret or Herbert Shelton's, way, and intuitively. And I always started with fruit in the morning, and then combining my meals correctly, I felt better and better. I started taking out the dairy and the meat, little by little, spacing it out, and then I turned into vegan, where I was maybe, I don't know, 40% raw, 60% cooked. And I kept upping the raw, and I kept feeling better and better with raw. And then I was where It's 99% raw with the exception of steamed vegetables. And I noticed I was, I was underweight, and I just couldn't gain any weight.
But you were underweight most of your life?
No, I was, I guess, robust. I was never overweight, but I was, when I ate an omnivore diet, I was robust. So here I have people here at the lobby making a lot of noise.
Okay. Well, let it go by. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was robust, and I started as I changed, as I transitioned, I started losing to where I looked skeletal, and I still to a point. I mean, I've gained more weight than where I was at when I started the master fast. But I'm still in the process of gaining more.
So before you got thin, what weight were you approximately?
I was 99. Before I started the transition, I think the heaviest I've ever been was maybe 144 pounds.
Okay.
Then as I was mainly 99% raw or 98% raw, with exception of cooked steamed vegetables or mushrooms, things like that, non-starchy vegetables, I was like 99 pounds.
And you couldn't gain weight?
And I couldn't gain weight at all.
What's your height?
I'm 5'5", so 1.67 meters tall and 99 pounds, 45 kilos. This was where I was at when I started the master fast, and I got down to 82 pounds, 37 kilos, and now I'm at 104 pounds, 47 kilos.
You gained a bit extra, not much, but
it's been 4 months since the master fast, and seems like I'm cruising on the 104 pounds, 47 kilos right now. For
4 months since you finished?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
4 months after I broke the fast. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, right now you're stabilized. Are you doing any workout or anything, or?
No, other than some light yoga or some push-ups. I need to do something. I'm traveling right now. The idea was at some point to join a gym or something, but we'll see when that comes into fruition. Yeah, definitely that needs to be done because I think.
Okay, so you got into the veganism, and then basically, how long was that before you got into more of the raw food type of stuff?
Yeah, well, when I started, because I started the transition with fruit in the morning every day.
Oh, okay.
And then combining foods correctly in order to have a good digestion. And then I transitioned, from meats, I went to grains, legumes, mainly legumes and salads and vegetables. And then I just upped the raw. And I guess before I started the master fast, I'd been a year and a half or more, like I would say year and a half, 98% raw, with the exception of non-starchy vegetables cooked or steamed.
Yeah, and then you heard about master fast from where?
I was in that guy's dry fasting group. What's his name?
Okay.
Group. I don't know if I heard it from there, but I was looking for other dry fasting groups, and I found the master fasting group just by searching on. I think then I joined this vegan dry fasting group, and then somehow I found master fast. I don't remember exactly. And this was a year and maybe in January of 2016, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, there was very few members. I remember when I just joined.
There was.
I remember it.
there was little activity.
Yeah, there was maybe a couple hundred back then.
Yeah. So, and I observed, and I just sat there and watched, and I was able to get started in August of 2016.
Did you have any thoughts about why we use cooked juice?
Well, it didn't make sense, as a raw foodist, it didn't make sense, why would you use cooked over raw? And I've done some raw fruit juices. I've the fasts. The longest I did was a month on juice, on grapefruit and orange. So at first it didn't make sense. I didn't really understand, the plasma, the field interaction. So, but doing it, you could definitely feel the difference in astringency with raw juice and cooked juice. Now, I haven't done the master fast with raw juice, so I can't compare the two and give that testimony. But just having done both cooked and grape, for me, it feels more astringent. I mean, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, that's fair to say if you haven't experienced it yourself, but most people that are coming to our page have been down those roads of raw juice fast and so on and so forth, and water fast and everything, other type of fast. So, they come searching because they couldn't find a way to solve their issues. And that's why we're getting a flood of people coming over, especially once people started actually doing the master fast and getting results that they're getting. That's what's it started spreading. But it's interesting just to know how different people find us and so on and so forth. Now it's becoming pretty well known out there. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So you started the 100. When you started, did you decide to do 108 days off the bat, or?
I didn't want to say it, but I mean, I was thinking it, but I said, well, let me just see how it goes, and take it as it goes. So, no, I wasn't sure. I said, let me do at 40. I'll see if I do 60. At 60, I'll see, and I felt like I keep going. Basically right when I started getting to 190, day 90. I did my longest dry fast was only 72 hours. That's where I'm at. And I was so depleted because I was so thin that the week after I had talked to Carl Fugabor Mulder, and he had suggested that I maybe do shorter daily dries and maybe drink more juice after that to get more energy, because I was really depleted after that long dry.
Yeah. It's for some people it's pretty challenging. Even when I started my first 3-day dry, it was tough. When you're doing it in the master fast, yeah, it's tough because you're getting in there pretty deep and it's stirring up some stuff. But everybody's at different experiences, and we feel things differently, and so on and so forth. So we do the best we can, and we strive to continue to do the dries, because that's the key to keep that going in your life. Are you continuing the dries?
Yeah, I'm doing the weekly 24. Sometimes they're a little longer. Sometimes it might be 2 hours short, depending, because I'm traveling. But yeah, weekly 24. And I'm eating two solid meals a day, and then the rest is coconut water.
So maybe you can walk us through your experience during the 108 days.
Yeah, well, the first 40 days, I may have to move somewhere else, because it looks like there's an argument here. I don't understand anything, and now they moved close to me, and they're still.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry about this.
No big deal. Hey, man, you're in a hotel. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, this is really strange. I'm in the restaurant area. No one's coming down. It's just the staff arguing. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move. Yeah, so basically the first 40 days, I felt fine. I was doing the push-ups I was able to do. I didn't lose any strength or anything. I even got a blood test in Mexico because I was traveling. I was carrying a suitcase full of juice. And I got a blood test. I got all the things checked that I could, because I was in a small town. And everything was fine. I just did it for fun.
You mean about 40 days you got your blood work done?
Yeah.
Was that for you decided to do it or somebody?
Well, I mean, in Mexico, you know, it's just it only cost me like $20, you know, and yeah, and there's no bureaucracy with having to pay. I don't have medical insurance in the U.S., but you know, you don't. I have some friends, doctor friends there, and just sign it off and just go do the tests, you know. So it's a lot easier. Hello? Oh,
Somebody is sharing their screen.
oh okay.
Hello. Who's doing that? Let me see that. Okay, it's gone. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so I just got the blood test just for fun since I was in this town, this small town. I checked all the levels that I could check. Everything was fine. So yeah, and I felt strength-wise, I didn't notice any weight loss. I didn't notice weight loss till about maybe after day 60. Or that's when I actually noticed it. Yeah, that's when I actually noticed it. I mean, I'm sure I lost some weight, but that's when I started losing a lot more weight and a lot more drastically. And that's when I dropped from the 99, you know, started dropping from the high 90s to the 80s. And my systolic was in the high 80s, low 90s. So I was, you know, tired and starting to get weaker. You know, I didn't feel the same, but the first 60 days, I just felt normal. And, you know, wasn't tough until the latter part of the fast. And
Were you getting concerned?
Well, towards the end, I mean, since, you know, the good thing about the MasterFast page, you can communicate with other people. And so I reached out to you know, to call and ask just questions about, you know, when I feel, you know, really weak about pushing, you know. And so because of that, it was easy to get some input from people who've already done it.
Yeah.
But no, I had faith in the system, you know, to go as low as I needed to go. But I mean, if you think about it, I only lost 17 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's really not that much, but for a skinny person, it is
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, this is where the page is such handy for people to support. It's
definitely, yeah.
It's amazing that people can connect to other people and see what's going on and ask questions. And this is the key, especially when there's not the experience, somebody, you know, that's going through it that hasn't had the experience, and they might be having weird thoughts and so on and so forth of what's going on because they don't understand. But you know, when you talk to people who've gone through it, you know, it's more comforting.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to keep that faith.
Yeah, then that's basically what it is, and then that's what I noticed that people when they come to the MasterFast group, you know, it might sound crazy to them. You know, we talked about this, about the, you know, the cooked juice, this, that, and the other, but something resonates with them. Something, a voice inside just says, this is right. It just feels right, but it doesn't make sense. You know,
it doesn't make sense because from what we conditioned to, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what I've seen the consensus being on the page. And I think that's with the majority of the people. And then you just go, you know, blind faith. And, you know, now with so many testimonies, yeah.
I was there with everybody. Raw's Law, man. That was my belief.
Yeah.
Even though I've done originally my first 40-day fast with cooked juice, but it was completely out of my mind to go back to that. It was, you know, no way, man. Raw's Law.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I remember the power of it. That's for sure. But you know, it put me away for a couple of years because of my inexperience and no support and so on and so forth. The power's there. The power's there.
Yeah.
You can't even measure the power, how much more power it is in raw juice. It's so much more because there's no plateaus on cooked juice at all.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of, you know, trying it. You know, like everybody, you know, we're all stuck sometimes in the left hemisphere, you know, too analytical and miss the forest for the trees. But you know, it's just you got to try it before, you know. you have an opinion about it.
So your daily drives were average how long?
My daily drives on the Master Fast was 15, 16. That was
Oh,
the
so
average. The
you were
window
up
being,
there. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, 15, 16 was average. Sometimes higher. There were some days might, for whatever reason, might be a tad lower, but yeah, it was 15, 16. I was right around the 8-hour, 9-hour drinking window.
Wow. And you were doing your weekly?
And during the weekly, and then the longer monthly, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. The weekly was, I started out with 36. That's what I started, and I was kind of in the 40s for a long time, 40s, and then the longest 72 hours, where the kidneys really started hurting, and towards the end of the mass fast, and the massaging those kidneys were a godsend because, oh yeah, I mean it hurts to walk, with that pain.
Yeah. It's amazing what we need to go through to really get those kidneys to open up and clean out. I don't know if you've watched my older videos. I had severe kidney pain at the end of my 108 days. I think it was about a week, the last week of it or so. And then my whole left leg went numb for a month after breaking the fast.
Oh wow. Wow.
So you just know, and you continue. I know what was going on because I went through it before. But, when you're doing everything with the herbs and this and that, you just know it's going to go away. But my kidneys really was a breakthrough when I did my 12-day. That was my.
Yeah, I remember you said that. Oh.
In Italy, they just opened up, and it's like I didn't feel kidneys anymore.
Wow.
Now, unless I go eat stuff where I shouldn't be eating, I'll feel it a little bit. It's never at the state it was for all those years with all those kidney pains. So it's interesting how all the different experiences everybody has. But the kidneys are the key that we need to break through those to get them to really open up. And now that you're eating I would suggest you start practicing getting into the longer dries. It builds more confidence in us when we're eating to push those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's my plan.
What when you were going all through this, was there any time you felt like quitting eating or whatever?
No, I didn't feel like quitting or eating, and all my life I've been preparing food. And so, like, I was preparing food for friends, family, wherever I was at. I didn't need to taste it because I've been preparing food so long. I don't need to taste it. But just preparing food and transmitting that love to the plate for other people and watching people enjoy it, that felt like it was feeding me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but working with food, the aromas, and I was nourishing myself, I guess, in a sense.
So you were doing this throughout your whole fast?
Yeah, I mean, not every day, but at least several times a week.
Wow.
And then when I was traveling with my father, I was preparing his meals every day for 5 weeks.
Is he
yeah.
Is he eating?
Yeah. He's vegan. He was 100% raw. He had diabetes for 20 years and kidney issues. There were dysfunction at 40% and liver issues.
Wow.
We got that all cleared up with. At first, I started the Gabriel Cousins kind of style method, the low-fat, low-glycemic raw vegan diet to get rid of his diabetes. So he was raw. Now he's eating. He's getting back into some legumes, some starches here and there. But yeah, so I prepare his meals and maybe raw meals and some semi-raw cooked. I would prepare for him. Yeah.
So in this 108 days, what other experiences did you encounter?
Yeah, well, big emotional, I mean, it just big emotional issues as far as dealing with people. That's why I had to stop traveling and just go back to Texas and just stay put for 2 months because just dealing with people, I was very irritable, not a nice person to be around. When you're traveling, it's a lot more stressful when you're moving around than being in your comfort zone. So, definitely emotional issues, even with friends and family. I just wanted to be by myself basically, because it was trying to deal with people. So that's a big thing, the emotional aspect. Irritability when you get on those high, so you need to be in a place that's conducive to it. I mean, my hat goes off to the people that don't know how, they got, families and doing, a really stressful job, and they're doing the master fast. That's that's amazing, because it's very trying emotionally.
Yeah, but it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is. We deal with it in our ways.
So you're basically a nomad. You're always traveling. You've been traveling for how many years?
Well, as a backpacker, I've been doing it for 12 years, and I grew up in 4 countries. So kind of like all my life, in a sense, I enjoy I enjoy traveling. So, and I like the lifestyle. I basically do the same thing I would do anywhere else, except for my scenery changes and food choices changes as far as fruits that are available to me and stuff. But it's just my environment changes, language changes.
What's your age?
I'm 41.
41. Wow.
Yeah.
You don't look nowhere near 41.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate it.
No, because you're mentioning the years before, but I didn't catch on what age you were now. So yeah, basically you went through some of the emotional issues and all that. And did you release any interesting things?
I mean, I had the snakes come out pretty much every day, but they weren't like super smelly or anything like that. I mean, some of them were more smellier than others, but not really, really smelly. There was like a mild, I guess, very mild, I guess you could say. But yeah, every day, every single day. And I did when you guys put up you can do up to 4. What was it? 4 tablespoons. Then I started doing that, but for my height, for my body type, that was just too much.
Too much, yeah.
So I went back down to between 1.5 to 2 tablespoons.
Yeah,
that seemed to be just about right for my height.
Did you do enemas?
Yeah, I did enemas, and then I have a Kalima board, the Jensen type, Kalima board, and
Really?
but I did mainly enemas because I would get too lazy. I'd break out the board, and But yeah, I did that in the latter days. I did I broke out the Kalima board more because it gets more stuff out. So
yeah, it's more comfortable, I find, for myself using the Kalima board versus the enema bags. It does a better job.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean more water. Yeah. So basically, yeah, the emotional issues, and then just feeling weak, and then having to deal with people that you don't even know, just people will tell you, hey, you're really skinny. You want something to eat? They'll just come. And even that, I went to bring this motorhome that I bought into the mechanic, and they're talking to me, hey man, you're really skinny, and it's, and they started talking to me about that. And it's interesting because with overweight people don't take the liberties to address these kinds of things. But with skinny people, I've had people constantly, and I kind of try to explain to them, yeah, I'm fasting right now. What? You're on 90 days not eating? 100? What? So yeah, I had to deal with people, just everybody, but I'm pretty headstrong, and when I set to do something, I follow through. I mean, I'm listening, I'm feeling my body, out, and I felt like I could go all those days, and I did, so yeah.
How about your family? What did they were they worried about you?
They saw that I was getting skinny, but now, after 41 years, they have faith. I mean, everything I say that I'm going to do, I follow through, and it comes to fruition. And so they just know. I mean, my parents have blind faith in me. My mom's vegan now. I would say she's a raw till 4 type. And so they've all kind of, influenced,
Awesome.
by proxy, my immediate family, and then helped out friends as well. And so they trust me because everything I point them out to, they know I've done my research, and so they have trust in me. So yeah.
What's their ages, your parents?
66 and 69.
Oh, okay. They're getting up there.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm traveling with my father now. So
Awesome.
doing a 5-month trip together. But yeah. And my dad, and I got my father to do, he did a 28-day, 4 weeks, master fast.
He did.
Yeah, and his longest dry was 36. He was 68 years old, so I got him to do it.
Wow.
I want him to do 108.
Awesome, man.
But so I got him to do it. So yeah.
That's
You are a good influence.
Italian older folks. That's
it's pretty amazing, So it's pretty amazing that he did the master fast and he did the dries, but now he wants to eat, so that's where he's at. No, that's fine.
Couldn't get my dad to do the master fast, but years ago when I started, they did I think it was a 2 or 3 week juice fast, way back. And that's it. They never did it again. They went back to their old ways.
They did great.
Yeah.
But they much better after I started changing, but avoiding all the real bad crap. But they never changed much. And my dad actually stopped eating meat way back, not long after myself.
Oh, okay.
And all that. But my mother, no, she kept doing everything the same.
Yeah.
Things. But it's interesting, some people, they make sense and they catch on, and others, they just forget it. They're not going to change.
Yeah, it depends. And we just can only offer, support and be there for them if the need should arise, But at least through example, they see if you got rid of stuff, and you're doing good, then just that alone is testament enough for them when they do decide, they've seen the progression.
Right. So anything else that stands out from your experience?
That stands out from my experience. I think I need another master fast experience to get. I mean, I still need to do, a lot more to get, I never really got the kidney filtration that I see on the group. I still need to work on that. I had my head clogged basically from like day 3 all the way to 108. I mean,
every day?
I had every day. And I did some candling, but I wasn't doing it every day, the candling. And yeah, I know you mentioned to do it by myself. I didn't want to catch on fire, but, relying on people, on my immediate family to help me with that. But, and I got some relief, but then it would get clogged up back again. So you get clogged, clogged all the time. I mean, even now, actually, on some of the weekly drives now, I'll get clogged, when I get to 23, 24, and sometimes in the 30s. So even still, not all the drives, but most of the drives, I'll get clogged for a little bit.
Yeah, it's kidney related, right? So you need to really get focus on getting those dries longer as possibly you can. Especially when we hit those season changes, go as long as you can. Go for that 5, 6, 7 days. That's when you start seeing the magic, especially after 7 days, when the kidneys they just open up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to expanding them, so.
Yeah, this is going to be a key. So when you broke your fast, what was the experience like? Was your first bite?
Well, I first started with just 3 days juicing, raw juices, and I tried to do the green juice route, but it just made me feel like I wanted to vomit. My body just didn't want the green juice. I tried. I did the broth and just wanted fruit juice. So I just stuck with the raw fruit juice, and then I broke it on after day 111. For me, it was like yesterday I was eating. I don't know, but yeah, it felt strange, to chew. And like I said, the longest juice feast was 30 days prior to that. So it felt strange. I had 3 tangerines from my tangerine tree, and yeah, it felt strange to chew, but it was like, it was 111 days went by, and
it's like it just
like
started.
yesterday I was eating. Yeah.
Did you?
But yeah, it felt strange. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I didn't have that nirvanic experience with food. Yeah. And then after, I just had the one meal of, a handful of fruit a day for that week. And then I think towards the end of nearing week 2, I started introducing some salads and fats, overt fat, like, avocado. I didn't introduce them till I think the end of week 3. Yeah.
Do you eat avocados regularly and fats? Or?
Right now I don't, because, well, the Hass avocado, which is the 80% fat one, isn't available. And the bigger one, more watery one, I don't know what the composition of that one is, but just doesn't do it for me. But if I have a salad, yeah, I'll have, have to have a half of avocado or something. Just salads, they just, they just don't satisfy like fruit. So, and fruit, it's only, like durian satisfies me. Basically the sweet, the mamey sapote if I'm in Mexico, or the heavy dense fruits. I'm not big into bananas unless I'm eating them with dates. But if I eat the high water fruits, they're good, but they don't satisfy me as much as the durian and the denser fruits like mamey sapote and things like that. Even papaya I like, but it's so more watery. But yeah. So basically I'm eating now is mainly I'll have some days of just fruit. It's basically 2 meals a day. And then sometimes I'll do vegetables. I've done here and there some cooked or steamed vegetables. And then I was in Ubud, Bali. They had 3 raw vegan restaurants, and I was doing it 5 days a week. I would go for one meal there, and the least offensive one. No raw vegan cheesecake or anything like that. That would be like throwing a wrench in my digestion, but definitely had some nuts and seeds either in the dressing or a little nut cheese a little bit in there. So it wasn't optimal, but so I indulged 5 days a week for a month in Ubud, Bali with that. That was my junk food, the raw vegan restaurants.
Yeah, the raw vegan restaurants, they do a lot of that with the sauces and stuff. Every time I go to those places, my digestion is not great from they use. But hey, once in a while, no big deal. No big deal.
Yeah. That's why I try to choose the less offensive ones, because, there's some where it's just all nuts and nut cheeses and or they make nut breads or something. No, I can't do that. That's way too heavy. But, if it's some in the salad dressing and some nuts and, in there, and it's not too much, then it seems like I can handle it somewhat. But even though, still not optimal.
When you started eating, did you go nuts and want to eat everything? Or
No. And the thing is, I was already pretty much, 98. I'm high raw before I started the master fast. So, I didn't have cravings for anything because I transitioned. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel it's easier when you start clean, because you will fall even if you overeat. You overeat clean at least.
Yeah. And there's been some days that I have overeaten, like, at the raw restaurant, I wanted to try this, that, but for the majority of the days, no, I haven't overeaten.
Mm-hmm.
No, but there has been some days that I have, just get excited when I went to a durian place in Malaysia with all durians around me. I was like, I want to try this one. I want to try that one. I'm just, basically eating for entertainment. I just, want to.
You have, you have no issue digesting durian?
No issue whatsoever. I don't know. And people have asked me, because, people bring up Ayurvedic or Chinese medicine. And I'm like, I'm not interested in them, because I go and look at Indians, or I go look at in the Asian country, the Asians, and they're all sick, and a lot of people are overweight. So don't talk to me about Ayurvedic or Chinese medicine. I was like, maybe the issue, because they say that durian is a cold, a hot fruit. And so you have to eat the cold, I don't know, whatever that is. I said, maybe just simple, chefology, eat it by itself, and if you don't have any obstructions or, in your GI tract already where you can't handle fruit,
Like, all these sayings of these traditional type of Ayurvedic and all that make, why would the creator put a durian in a hot climate if it's a hot fruit?
Yeah.
All animals go nuts on durian.
Exactly. I left a durian on the counter, and I came home, my dog ate it. Because when I eat the durian, I share with the dog. Any fruit I eat, I share they like certain fruits, but durian, yeah, you're right.
Every animal goes nuts on durian. And they only grow in a very tropical type of climate. They can't grow anywhere else. So
That's true.
you know, like when
Yeah.
people say these things, it's how you shouldn't eat it. Well, it's growing. You should be eating the fruit that's grown in the environment where you live. That's the best fruit for you.
Yeah, exactly. And for those of us that don't, if we don't live in an environment conducive to growing fruit, well, eventually at some point, I mean, either if you live in a big city where you get things imported, like you get fresh durian, but there's some people who live in the cold climates where, that maybe the best they can do is bananas.
Yeah.
Or maybe, some berries and stuff, and strawberries, those things that grow in cold, but it depends. So it's really tough for some people. But yeah, in the end, we're a tropical species, we got to put on a coat when we're in the cold weather. Polar bear doesn't have to put on a coat, You'll never see an iguana decide to move to the North Pole, and you never see a polar bear decide with his family, hey, let's move to Cancun.
Exactly.
They,
Only humans.
they don't have the intelligence we have. We think we're so intelligent, but they don't have to go and get a doctorate degree to know that where they're, predefined location for that's best for their species is,
Yeah, like the date grows in the desert sand, basically. And I keep saying that's the most hydrating fruit. It has to be. The creator doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
It does not make mistakes. And durian's another hydrating fruit. It's grown in a hot tropical climate. People just can't comprehend that. Like in just the last week or two, I think it was 3 people that reported they regained height from the master fast. 3 people.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So that's people that maybe have noticed or measured. Because I never really noticed. It was until my my original yoga teacher, came to my home. I haven't seen him in 2 years. He goes, "You grew." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, man, you're taller." And then I measured myself. And holy jeez, I regained 3/4 inch of my height.
Yeah, from the hydration,
Yeah, it's you can't do that without hydration. And I'll explain it a little more. Maybe people understand it. If you get 2 magnets, we're going a little bit off topic now, but this is important. You get 2 magnets and you put 2 north poles together or 2 south poles. And what do? They repel.
Yeah.
You can only push them together so far. But if you put them freely on a table, you push them together and then they'll go apart and they'll find their position. They won't go anymore and they won't go together. We call that finding position. Gravitational magnetic field of plasma, which everything is plasma. So our cells are the same within our body. And when you have weak cells, they're going to be closer together. When you strengthen and you raise your field strength, they repel and everything stretches in your body. And that's done through hydration and everything else, through proper hydration. So this is how we grow taller, we regain our height. And all this stuff about gravity, shrinks, and all that, it's all bullcrap. It's all bullcrap. We're showing it's all bullcrap. If you can raise your field strength, your body will go back to where it's supposed to be. Some people will probably grow taller than they were ever in their life on a master fast. I guarantee if everybody would measure themselves on the starting day and at the end, whatever they do, 140, 50, I guarantee everybody will gain something.
Wow, yeah.
Because this is what we're doing. We're raising our field strength and through hydration. And the trigger through hydration is the dry fasting. It's the dry fasting. That's the trigger. So this is amazing. Like, now that more people have noticed this, it would be nice for people to keep track of it, just for whatever reason, because I know this is what's happening. It's raising our fields.
Yeah, definitely. The spine does stretch again, right? It's like before the fast, I feel when I'm eating, if I overeat or whatever, don't eat the right food, I feel like my body
it's tight.
Tight.
Yeah, when you do yoga, it's like night and day when you're doing on a master fast or dry fast versus when you're eating. The difference.
Yeah.
And swelling and inflammation, and then once you clear up this inflammation and swelling, the body, gets space. The joints are more free. I mean, the yoga poses are much deeper. That's for sure. When I do yoga, fasting versus eating.
Did you
Oh, yeah.
did you have any inflammation issues before you started Master Fast, and versus what do you have now, and during, and et cetera, et cetera?
That I'm aware of.
Nothing, the joints or stuff. You never had that issue?
No, I never had that issue. I just had, like I said in the past, respiratory mind clarity that I didn't have. But yeah, so working on those kidney filtration. That's my goal.
How's your breathing now? Compared to before you started.
I can't say I can discern a difference. I mean, but it was already better because of the change. I did the transition.
You've improved it through the diet change and everything.
Yeah. So it was already better, but no, I can't say I've discerned the difference. But that's something that I kind of addressed and that kind of got fixed before.
What? Any other issues that you noticed improved?
Well, like I said, that the digestion, and I'm heavier, even though cruising on 104 pounds right now.
Your digestion's improved? Your bowel movements?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was still having a lot of bowel movements before. It seems like digestion has improved now. That for sure. And with the gaining of weight.
Do you still feel congested in your head?
Only when I dry fast.
Mm.
It's eating stops it. But it depends. Not all the time when I dry fast, but it's when I get maybe getting close to 24. Not every time, but I would say a good I don't know, maybe 60-70% of the time.
Yeah. So
I start getting clogged up. If not the whole day, but I'll get yeah. And so eating it unclogs it.
Yeah.
I noticed like a month ago, I noticed a little lump here, like a lymph node. So maybe from the head drainage, and it seems like it's shrinking a tad. But I was never one to touch for lymph nodes on my neck and stuff, and it's not. Somehow I noticed it, and it's seems like it's shrinking a little bit. So maybe from that head drainage, I don't know, that got filled up there.
Yeah, well, if like you said, throughout the 108, you really never had great kidney filtration. So you got to keep working on that. When you're planning your next Master Fast?
We'll have to see if August again or September. I get back to the U.S. in July, so I'm thinking
Fall time.
We'll see if I could do August or September start again. Yeah. Awesome.
How long?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to think about 108 right now. But definitely at least 40,
Yeah, 40 flies by after you do 108.
But we'll see. I just, we'll see how, when the time comes. Definitely. Right now, getting grape juice in Southeast Asia, depending on where you're at, you're not going to get the optimal one unless you got a place with expats or something, you're not going to get the greatest grape juice.
So anyway, you've been able to put a few more pounds on than previous there, which is good.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, so far.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. So
yeah.
But with the kidneys locked up, that's going to be a key for you. You got to really work on those kidneys and move up those dry fasts. That's where your focus, I think. I would put on right now is extending those dry fasts as long as you possibly can. Especially every season change. Just go for it. Push. Yeah. Push. You got to get those babies to open right up. Dig them deep with that stick. It really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 3 days a month.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. 3 days. Are you doing the 3 days monthly or just once a week?
No, I'm just doing once a week right now, and I'm ready because I've been like 2 weeks ago I did 36, so I'm ready to push the longer ones. I just wanted to rebuild the body for a while, and so yeah, that's my goal now is to start pushing them do longer weeklies. We start doing the 36 weekly.
Yeah, yeah. Slowly, that's how we do it. Slowly, surely, we up it.
Yeah. So that's my goal, to keep going higher and higher, and yeah.
You showed, I think you showed your before and after pictures, right?
Yeah, I posted them on the group when I posted the video of my experience, and I posted on underneath the video. Yeah, and yeah, I looked like a concentration camp victim. I mean, it was bad. I mean, people felt sorry for me. Thought I was crazy, and I mean, I looked bad. I was, just all bones. So that's why, I was saying, I sent that video earlier, and I'll say it again. If anybody needs support or whatever, and any questions or anything, because it's understandable, especially when you're around people having to mention to you every day how horrible you look. So
it's a challenge for a lot of people listening to it over and over, especially from family and friends, and then you go on strangers, like you said, they're coming up to you anyway.
That's when it really hits. But yeah, and everybody's different. Some people have I'm trying to, control my ego, but I'm pretty, self-assured with, when I set myself to do something, even if though the odds are stacked against me, I follow through. So, but everybody's different on the journey. So I can understand it, and we can all support each other, and I'm open to that. And I know you've sent some people, Spanish speakers or Italian speakers, had some come to me and ask questions, but like you, as long as they read the protocol or some, I mean, we need to start translating it too, actually, and have it in different languages for everybody. That I'm open to help, answer questions on my journey, especially for the excessively thin people, so if you're out there and you're doing the master fast and you have some questions, or, and about where you're at, and, because I've experienced all that,
A lot of people that are thin are really worried about fasting.
Yeah. And, you have to do with prudence. Like I said, the longest dry I was able to do was 76, hours. So, and after that, I had to shorten my window of ingestion. Of dry fasting, and just drink more juice, because I had to regain strength. I was depleted. Yeah. I mean, I got to where I stopped, and that's the thing. I stopped moving in the latter days, you said, keep moving. I stopped doing the push-ups. I just felt I just didn't want to do anything. People keep moving. Listen to Gino.
You gotta move. Especially on the dries, as I found. If you don't move, man, you won't be able to do long dries. Your body just shuts off the energy.
So towards at the end of the 108, you felt weak?
Oh yeah, I felt and especially in the 90s, when I did that long. The 3-day dry, I felt really depleted. Yeah, really depleted. And I remember one time on my day 27 or 28, I was in Mexico in Puerto Vallarta, and on my dry, I was like 38 hours or something, or 40, I don't remember. And I was walking the street, the sun, and I almost passed out. I was like slow motion. My body was slowly winding down. So I had to be careful. Yeah. So with movement, have to be careful. And I was just walking.
But that's when you're digging deep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so that's why I guess when I was dry fasting, I didn't want to move as much. I mean, or do push-ups or anything, because of that experience, I guess, from where I was at,
Yeah, the new fasters, they lose their faith quick when these things happen. They get lightheaded or they dizzy. Some of them have fainted and smashed their heads even. This is why anybody who's new to fasting, we keep repeating, you gotta get up slowly from bed or from sitting down.
I had experience.
Listen to your body.
Yeah, make sure you're aware, everything's fine before you start moving. And if you feel dizzy, just use this acupressure point and hold and breathe slow and deep, and everything will settle off. But a lot of the times, most of the times, when you feel that, you go do an enema, there's going to be some heavy stuff coming out. Usually that's what it is. The body's trying to dislodge this stuff, and it's going into the circulation. Has nothing to do with that you're not eating. Nothing to do with that at all.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
And the longer you fast, as the years go by, it gets less and less and less. Like now, I'll occasionally have those little dizzy spells, but nowhere near like the first times. Like, I think you're dying.
Yeah. And I've been like either, well, I did water fasting 4 years ago and then juice fasting before I came into master fast. So I've had the dizziness
experience.
But yeah.
Were you doing any dry fasting before you came to master fast?
I started because I joined the page in January of 2016, and so in April 2016, I started experimenting with dry fasting while eating. Yeah. I started with the intermittent dries and then the 24-hour dry. I started with the first one was 24-hour, and then doing the intermittent dries while eating.
Right.
Before I started the master fast.
Did you do any breath work?
Other than breathing through one nostril out and the other end, both. I did some. It wasn't consistent though, but yes.
You're slacker.
Yeah.
No movement, no breath.
You were off work, so you're home. Just resting, just lying down, right?
No, I wasn't lying down. No, I was active. It's active in terms of doing things. I was doing all the things I had to do. But as far as exercise but on the dries, I had to be, when I get the higher hours, I had to be more, more careful. And then in the 72, I was definitely bedridden for the third day.
Wow.
Dry fasting is it's a practice. It's you don't want to jump from 24 hours to 72 hours. I would say every week. I like to do it every week, increase by 12 hours until I reach the 72 hours by the end of the month. And it's much easier. Yes, it's not very easy, but it's much easier than jumping from one to another.
Yeah, I agree, and that's I gradually upped it to 72.
It's a practice. It's
a lifestyle. You got to make it part of your life.
It becomes much easier. I used to do 3 day, maybe 3 weeks, 3 day a week for 3 weeks. That was around maybe after 50 days in my second master fast. And I was working out every single day for 1 hour and a half to 2 hours. And it was not easy. And I worked as well full time.
Yeah.
But, I really loved it. I started looking forward to it, but then kind of scared of it, when I started, But you look forward to it because of the calmness and it's hard to describe once you get comfortable with the 3 days. They're really nice.
Yeah, that's what the consensus I'm hearing from everybody. So I'm enjoying the 24-hour drives, and the 24 hours are just easy. I guess I break them at 24 just because I want to eat during it. Entertainment, want some entertainment. That's my only entertainment, But yeah, I'm definitely be pushing longer and longer. Just traveling, depending on where I'm at, can be more of a challenge. Yeah. But I'll be reporting back with the higher drives.
Looking for any questions here.
Let me look in here,
How much did you lose on Master Fast? You answered that. It was 17 pounds you said?
Yeah, 17 pounds total. So I started at 99 pounds, 45 kilos, and I dropped down to 37 kilos, 82 pounds. And I'm 5'5", 1.67 meters.
Somebody's asking iPhone, I don't know who it is. Do you feel positive mental benefits while being on raw food?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's night and day difference. With mental clarity, it's night and day difference. Just the cognitive abilities expand on raw food. But then again, even on raw food, if you're overeating, you're still taxing the system. So, and what are you eating on raw foods? If it's, fruits and non-starchy vegetables, okay. But if it's high fat or high nuts and seeds, then definitely, mental clarity goes, I think, with that. That's my experience. And someone is asking about blood pressure. my blood pressure, my systolic, my systolic is 99, 100. So I'm still working on those adrenals. On the master fast, they got down to mid 80s.
Yeah.
You know, mid high 80s, low 90s. So during the master fast, so that's normal with the blood pressure. You know, that goes down during fasting.
A lot of these questions have been answered. Do you eat any grains?
No, I don't eat any grains. I don't eat legumes. I don't eat any starchy vegetables.
Fruit and
All
salads,
I eat,
right?
yeah, fruit, non-starchy vegetables. I cut out, after the master fast, I cut out broccoli, with the exception, I was trying to cut out the cruciferous, but with the exception, I think I had bok choy here, so that's cruciferous.
Not even like a sweet potato or something? Nothing like that?
I haven't done a sweet potato, no. You know, and I understand, you know, for us coming from with the Arnold era to Morse, you know, as far as, you know, want to stop detox, but I just haven't been craving starchy vegetables. I guess my starch would be an overt fat, like an avocado with a salad, like, you know, that would be my, huh?
Durian. When you got durian, you don't want anything else.
Yeah, and that's you know, durian is, I guess it's you know, they say it's 33% fat, but I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it.
It's no, it's a different type of fat. It's very easy to digest for me, and my body doesn't digest fats great. Did we lose you? No. Yeah. So durian, I can digest durian, no problem.
Sorry, a question. Is durian mucus forming?
Is durian mucus forming? If you overdo it, if you eat normally, no problem. If you overdo anything, it's your body's going to build defense mechanisms in it. iPhone's asking, did your spiritual experiences deepen while on the fast?
I can't say for me that I can't say that they did, but definitely emotionally, you know, you get in touch with, you know, the good, bad, and ugly of yourself, and you have to deal with those issues. So things surface in that aspect. Yeah, definitely.
Blood pressure, you answered. You answered that one. What do you think about breatharianism?
What do I think about breatharianism?
Yeah.
I don't know any breatharian personally in flesh. You know, I've had some breatharians add me, and I'm friends on Facebook with some breatharians. It resonates with me. It makes sense. I don't know if all breatharians are true breatharians. You know, there's different levels of breatharianism. Some people eat every 3 days. You know, some people are, you know, not eating, like Victor Trubiano, and there's a few others that are, you know, and there's some that are eating for flavor, or like a Kai and his wife. They have 2 kids now that were born, and they're in breatharian state. I mean, and they eat to accompany their kids here and there. But I think it's possible. I can't prove it, but I resonate with that it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even if nobody's done it, doesn't mean it's not possible. Did you hear that?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear us now? Hello? We lost you?
Hello.
Hello? Oh, I think we lost him. He's frozen. He'll come back in as soon as he gets the signal. Yeah, we lost him. He's lost the signal. Oh, no, he's back.
But are you muted?
You muted?
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I missed something.
Yeah, no, I said, what did I say? I even forgot now.
Questions?
I said, even if it's, if nobody has done it, does not mean it's not possible.
Yeah, I mean, I have an open mind with everything, and for me, it's my internal guide, or if I resonate with something, then I find out the intellectual side, and I read up on it to be able to explain it. You know, because we deal with, you know, the world there, everybody's stuck in the left hemisphere, so you know, sometimes if we have to deal with these people, we need to be able to sometimes intellectually explain it to them.
Yeah, everybody wants to really try and figure everything out, but sometimes we need to just embrace and let things be the way they are.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
We can't explain everything, and it's okay. Like, people want to know exactly what the makeup of the plaque is coming out, or what's in the kidneys, and why, and it doesn't matter. Embrace. Your body knows what to do. Leave it alone.
Yeah, it's just exactly. I mean, it's the body heals itself. We just have to get out of the way. Just basically, I think everybody in the Master Fast. I think it's good to have read some Arnold Ehret books. I know you have them on the page. At least Rational Fasting or Mucus Diet Healing System, just to get a background into the idea of this nutrition myth. That we need this, that, and the other. 102 minerals from this, that. You need to source certain foods from the Himalayas, another one from the Pacific. Everything grows that we need for where we're at. So all the herbs, all the fruits, well, except for unless we live in Alaska, some cold places maybe a little harder, but everything we're in the geographical location where we're at. We're a tropical species, so eventually people who get into this, a lot of us, some of us, at least make a pilgrimage or move or take, some time in these areas from time to time in the tropical areas.
Yeah, the tropics are amazing. Amazing. Jamaica is one of the best places down in the islands for raw foodists, for all types of fruit and everything.
Yeah, I was in Jamaica this summer. Yeah, I like naseberries, or a lot of people know by the name sapodilla. Those are my favorite there. And yeah, they had a lot of fruit. I wouldn't say that it's more than other tropical places, but I think a lot of the tropics, they had good fruit there.
Yeah,
they had ackee.
Jamaica's very, no, but I've done a lot of research and people that have traveled all, and that's the place. I've been to Jamaica 3 times. You got everything there, amazing selection. But if you go to any of these tropical places, you're going to find anything. I was in Venezuela; they have great stuff there too.
Just the only one doesn't have as much tropical fruit is probably Puerto Rico, because it's a U.S. protectorate and they import everything. They don't grow as much food. So, but other than that, I definitely try to stay in the warm areas to get when I travel.
Yeah, well, and where you are right now, in Indonesia and Thailand and Cambodia, and they got all kinds of Bali. Did you go to Bali too?
Yeah, I was in Bali. I was there to catch the durian season. They didn't have a good crop, but and so I was getting durian there, and dragon fruit, papayas. Those are the main staples there. Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody have any more questions? Do you have any? Oh, Wendy's on. Hi, Wendy. How you doing, Wendy? Hope everything's working out for you. Hang in there.
Somebody from iPhone would like to ask the question, or I can read it. Can you overeat on fruit? How much enough? I guess, how do you know enough is enough?
You can overeat on anything, of course. You only humans overeat. Only humans overeat. Animals don't overeat. Domesticated animals, that's a different story, because they're being fed foods that are not natural to their diet, and then there's the problem, that they get into the overeating as well. But wild animals, they don't overeat. You don't see obese wild animals. Never. Doesn't exist. They know when to eat and when to stop to eat. They're in tune with their senses. So the problem with us humans in this modern world is we're eating for emotion. We're not eating when we're hungry, and that's the problem. That's the problem. If we ate only when we were hungry, we wouldn't eat every day. There's no need to eat every day. But we're so conditioned, it's lunchtime, time to go eat, or breakfast, or whatever. we go by the clock, right? And that's the problem. That's the problem. best thing would be to train ourselves to eat only when we're hungry. Really listen to ourselves. And like I said, you wouldn't be eating every day if you actually listen to your true calling of hunger. But, you know, if you get down to eating 1 meal, 2 meals a day, you know, more than 2 meals a day is way unnecessary. 2 meals should be max for most people. You know, those 3 meals a day, it's crazy. You need that rest every day for the digestive system. So like me, I did the 1 meal a day for many, many, many years way back. And, you know, now I'm doing about 2 meals a day most of the time. Sometimes I'll do 1. I got to really work myself back to the 1 meal. That's really the best, with lots of dry fasting. Lots of dry fasting. I'm doing 2-3 days, a week. Actually, this week I didn't do any dry fasting. After Easter, my mindset, I wasn't able to start. So I'm back on it this week coming. It happens to all of us, you know. You know, the overeating thing is a problem for many people, especially when you're around food and this and that all the time. You just have to refocus on what you want to achieve, on your goals, and keep that in mind all the time. And then when you're picking whatever foods you got to eat, pain or pleasure. Plate of pasta's pain, beautiful mangoes pleasure. So which one do you want to experience? If you keep that perspective, that's worked for me to make the right choices most of the time. You know, every once in a while you fall off, you got your reset to dry fast and keep going. But don't kick yourself. Don't be disappointed. When you do it, if you enjoy it, and just forget about it, move on with the experience and learn from it. That's all we can do. But it's amazing, you know, to be in that part of the world, Ivo, with all that beautiful fruit, especially the durian, man. I think I told you my story way back in, I think it was in around 2005-ish. Because 2004, I started growing wheatgrass and drinking gallons of it. I think it was 2005-ish. I went for almost a 4-month period, exclusively only wheatgrass and durian, nothing else.
I know, yeah.
It was it was insane. And I would say, okay, that's enough. And then the next day I would go back to the store and buy another one. And some days it wouldn't be only 1 durian. It was crazy. I would maybe give you 2 or 3 whole durians. Whole durians.
Wow.
It was crazy. I was in a crazy addiction for that period. But it was an amazing experience. Durian makes you feel great, right? I think you understand. It's got something in there that draws you. That's why all the animals go nuts over it. It's a very, very attracting type of fruit. You went all the way over there to have it.
Yeah, I feel like a drug addict, you know. Got to get my fix. And you know, we were talking about the other day. You were saying, you know, it's adrenal food. You know, you were talking about how it looks like the adrenal glands. You know,
kidney and adrenal. The seed looks like a kidney and adrenal.
Yeah.
So it's something. A question?
Mm-hmm. So Lisa is asking, do you think you should be a certain weight?
A certain weight? Well, everybody, there is no predetermined weight for each person, but if you're going to ask my opinion, maybe 120 would be my ideal weight. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Maybe, getting to 120 at 5'5", 1.67 meters. I'm guessing maybe.
Well, but we're going by the average of what's out there, right? And the
I don't know what. Yeah.
The average by height, whatever, but they're taking all these into account for their so-called average weights and heights and all that. But we're talking about a population, the societies that don't eat anything to do with their natural diets. So these are not true figures. Number one. Number two, your emotion and intent is what creates your physicality. So that's the biggest influence. And also environment dictates outcome. So depending also on your environment, you know, like if you go in the Eskimos, you know, they're going to be different weights and so on and so forth than somebody living in the tropics. You can see that clearly. They're living mostly on animal foods, right? And they're in a cold climate. So, you know, we don't really know what the average is, but the body knows. If you're eating properly and you're cleansing and so on, eventually the body will find its balance and get to a certain weight. Like myself, you know, I'm a lot of people, when I was into the, you know, 100% raw and all that, people would freak out. You know, how do you have all that weight on you? Because I was always at about 160-ish pounds, 165. You know, I'm only 5'7.5", 8 inches around there. And, you know, growing up, I was always working out a little bit on the bigger side, a little bit on the heavier side, and so on and so forth. And when I went raw, the first month I went down to 140 pounds. That was the lowest I went back then. And then it took me about a year, maybe more than a year, to gain to the weight where I'm usually at right now, to gain that back. But when I did the massive fast at 108, I went down to my lowest ever was about 137, I think, was the lowest I hit. So that's for me. You know, we're all different. Everybody's gonna go different weights and so on and so forth. That's we have to just trust. You have to trust. But if you know, people that are underweight severely, like they're eating and eating and eating, they can't put on any weight, there's definitely an absorption and utilization issue. Definitely. And or full of worms. That could be another problem. You have a tapeworm in there eating everything you have. That's been known as well. But usually it's utilization and absorption. There's just nothing's really happening in that area to fully absorb. Everything's just going through you. And then you explained it perfectly that every time you eat, you get tired. So your body's using all that energy to process it, but you're not getting from it. So that's why you're getting tired. And that's a lot with a lot of people. You know, they eat, feel like falling asleep. Like even me, if I overeat, right away, I get tired. And if I overeat like a lot, like over the holidays, I'll get a little bit of a cough. It's the colon is the third lung. It's directly energetically tied to the lung. So if I'm backed up, I can't breathe properly. So that's why I feel better when I eat minimal amounts and when I fast. I feel the best. You know, just dry fast and reset myself. And I've always had to do that. That was my thing to keep me strong, to keep me going, is my consistency of keeping fasting part of my life every season change. That's what I always did. Now it's for over 3 years, I'm doing the daily, the weekly, the monthly, and the season change dries. So that's changed. But before that, it was always every season change without fail. I would keep doing my regular fast. The only time I fell a little bit off the wagon for myself was when I went through that high fat phase. I went into a really weird situation where I started losing all my memory, as you experienced. I couldn't think clearly, and I just fell in that trap for those couple of years, which was really bad. So, but otherwise, fasting. This is the key, folks. Less is more. Less is more.
Okay. iPhone is asking, how did your ADHD improve after the fast? ADHD, I think
Well, the thing is, all these issues are resolved. I mean, as far as tiredness and the ADHD and all that, I changed that with the diet. I was addressing my malabsorption, my thinness, excessive thinness issues with the master fast. That was my reason for doing the long master fast, and the reason why I'm going to continue to do another one when I can, when I'm not traveling.
Yeah, iPhone. What's your name? We need to know who you are. Photograph. Is that? Oh, you got your picture on there. Maybe just type in your name so we know who you are.
Okay. Lisa is asking, what ideas have been changed or challenged since doing the master fast?
It's a good question.
Anything changed in your maybe lifestyle?
Changed. Basically, I just saw things in me that I need work on. You know, I mean, both emotionally, physically. It just brought it to the forefront, and that's the main thing. And seeing where I'm at this present moment, and you know, in the work that needs to be done to be the person I want to be. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
How much grape juice did you drink daily?
I was average. I was doing 64 ounces, sometimes less. And then when I really got depleted, a little bit more. So 64 ounces, what is that? 2 liters, maybe almost, or less. 1.5 to 2 liters. 2 liters, I would say, probably closer was average. Then when I really got depleted in the high 90s, I started upping the juice a little bit more.
Did that help you?
Yeah, it seemed to.
Okay. What advice do you have for very thin people?
For who?
For thin people.
Very thin people.
Very thin.
Oh, well, thin people is to keep the faith. I mean, I don't know where you're at dietetically, you know. So I mean, I always believe in transition. I know when we talk about a master fast, you can't be transitioning. Some people are talking about Arnold Air transition 10, 15 years. Like, well, you know, when are you going to start eating what you're supposed to be eating? You know, and master fast is an accelerated cleansing system, you know, cleaning pipes like a plumber. So, but I do suggest some people, you know, unless you have a pressing issue, to start, you know, transitioning your diet. I don't know where people are at dietetically, you know, but you know, don't fear the master fast and losing weight. That's just natural. Your body will lose what it needs to lose. You know, be prudent, listen to your body, and you know, with the fainting, or if you feel that depleted, you know, make sure that you're listening to your body to see when to push and when, you know, to slow it down. Yeah,
I'm not one for transition because we have so many tools now, and we know quite a bit more than when Arnold Herod wrote his books. Those books are excellent. They're my staple, my guide, my first books that made me change. But we know and we understand quite a bit more than way back then, and we can handle pretty much any situation, you know, with the tools that we have. If somebody's going through a crazy detox, some healing reactions, we know we can back off with green juices, this, that, and the other thing. Lots of enemas, so on and so forth. Basic principles of what Eric, you know, taught, and how to break the fast. The principles that Eric taught are very good. You know, what I found is once you clean that GI tract out very well, everything changes. Everything changes, which is, we haven't seen that anywhere in the alternative type healing to this degree. And this is what makes the difference, is cleaning that GI tract. In 108 days, it's a good start. Opens doors. Good start.
How to stop overeating fruits for emotional reasons?
You know what? I don't think I've ever overeaten on, you know, for emotional reasons. I mean, it's more for entertainment in my case. So I don't know if you guys can answer you have to address your emotions, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, as we discussed before, we're eating by the clock instead of eating when we're hungry. So you got to really ask yourself, as soon as you think about food, what you do is say, am I really hungry? I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's no. No. But you're going to eat anyway. So this is something that over time, if you keep remembering to ask you these questions, one day that you're going to say no, oh, okay, I'm not eating. I'll wait till I'm hungry. It's only going to be practice, 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 and having your goal set. And if you say no when you ask yourself you're not hungry, go do something. Keep busy. Go do yoga. Go for a walk.
But we're never hungry, really.
It's yeah.
I mean, like people are saying you're eating for pleasure.
Exactly.
You're like,
Yeah.
Well, he's in Thailand. There's durian there.
Yeah. Well, because of during and then too, we have to, I guess, reanalyze what we deem as hunger. That the tribe, making sounds, moving stuff. That's just moving food, stuff along. That's not hunger. So I think we all have been implanted with the wrong idea of what hunger is, and that digestive discomfort is not hunger.
Exactly.
So, but we all depending on the cleaner we get, the less of that pain until it disappears.
And any of those sensations coming from the stomach area is not hunger. It's not hunger. Hunger doesn't come from the bowel area. It comes more from the throat. A sensation. It's a different feeling completely. When you go through a long master fast, you'll feel some of these hunger things come and go. When these true hunger things come, they don't actually go. They'll be consistent day after day after day. Then you know you're hungry. And I don't think anybody's experienced that. Mm-hmm. Because the ones that they get the hunger, they disappear. They dissipate. If you keep busy, whatever, they go away because it's not true hunger.
It's interesting. Yeah. Also, like the dry fast is, you can relate it as well, right? So when we're dry fasting, like sometimes you'll be very thirsty, maybe let's say by the end of 48 hours, depending how long you do dry fasting, right? So like at the end of 48 hours, I am so thirsty at night, right? And then I sleep very well. And then the next morning I wake up and I'm not even thirsty. And I'm like, what? It's not like, even with drinking, you feel the same thing, not just with food, physical food.
Magic happens.
Yeah.
To forget what trying to understand it, it's simple. We can make everything within our bodies. Bears hibernate for 7 months. Yeah, they're sleeping, but 7 months without food and water. Mm. How do they do it? Mm. Look at the size of that animal. It only eats 5 months a year, 6 months a year. So I always go back to looking. The answer is always in plain sight. We've been lied to so much, and we believe it. And we really can make everything we need with 2 ingredients: air and salt. Salts, meaning like ocean water, which is running through our veins. So we have the 2 ingredients around us all the time to make anything we need: amino acids, whatever else you need, vitamins, minerals, so on and so forth. Your body can make it all. We just got to remember how to do it. By practicing dry fasting as part of your life, we train ourselves to remember.
Another thing I want to say about the overeating foods, I feel fruit is the least addicting food. So
except durian.
I mean,
that's one food that, man, oh man.
But like even
I don't know if is there any other fruit that's that addictive? I don't think.
I mean, like compared to, let's say, cooked food, or compared to, when you start eating cooked food, you want to eat more, right? But with the food, I feel there is satisfaction. There is like, you cannot eat anymore. Maybe the watery food.
The reason cooked food is so addictive, it's because atomically the structure's opened up and it's more energetically available to us. That's why. It's very addictive. The energy packets are stronger. But the problem with cooked food is the physicality part of it. The obstruction phase is an issue going through us. That's the problem. If any cooked foods, if we kept it small amounts and most of our diet was the fresh fruits, you wouldn't have any issues. But because it's addictive, we eat more and more than we ever need. That's the problem all the time. Overeating.
Even salads with fat, I feel also there is an addiction more towards that compared to fruit. Fruit is easier.
Fats are addictive.
For
Nuts,
emotions.
seeds. Everybody can easily overdo it on nuts and seeds. Avocados. You know, the coconuts. You know, all these fatty foods are addictive, and it's, you know, yeah, it's nice eating them, but you don't feel good if you eat too many of these things.
How often is best to do ear candling during the master fast?
Anytime you need it.
When you feel congested in the head?
Yeah.
How are you around other foods that are no longer, that you no longer, I think that you no longer eat? Are they disturbing? So how do you feel around other foods that you don't eat anymore? Are they disturbing?
Well, you're preparing food, right?
Yeah, preparing food. No, it doesn't bother me at all. Like, well, I mean, most of the food I prepare is raw, you know, or non-starchy vegetables. Now, if once in a while, like for my mom, because I used to make really good beans, and I'll make, you know, some beans in a crock pot for them or something like that. But because I used to eat that, I know what needs to go in there, but I don't desire them. And I know the heavier feeling that I'll feel if I eat them. So I can say I'm lucky in that respect with the habit. I mean, I'm not 100% fruit, you know, because I still like my salads, you know, my non-starchy vegetables, but in that respect, I transitioned enough to where I don't crave legumes or starches or potatoes and anything like that.
So what you just said is what I was saying before. You're putting pain and pleasure. You know how it makes you feel, so you avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I loved beans. I mean,
Yeah.
beans.
Doesn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was my staple, you know. Yeah. So I know the lighter foods and the less I eat, the better I feel. And I think all of us, you know, I'm not an athlete or anything, but all of us that do any kind of workout or anything, anytime, we do best on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
You know. So
Always.
Did you change your social involvement? Rid of all friends, made new friends?
yeah, that's been gradually been happening. That's a given in this lifestyle. It just happens. I still love my friends that you know, I used to party with. You know, I used to drink alcohol every day. I wasn't an alcoholic because I could stop, you know, and not drink for a week or two. But I used to party. I was a musician, touring, playing. I mean, everywhere. You know, alcohol was always free and always available, and having a good time. Had some great memories, but I don't crave it anymore. And you know, and the friends that, you know, don't call me, you know, they don't call me anymore. You know, it's been a few years. You know, when I'm in San Antonio, they don't call me. Hey, come out. You know, and you have less and less, because when I went vegan, at least I had the alcohol that was the last thing to relate to people. And now that I just mainly eat raw fruits and vegetables and don't drink anymore, you don't have anything other than, you know, a conversation, and you realize how many superficial you know, conversations and friendships people have on this lifestyle. And I think the people that are you actually have a true bond, and that it's friendship more than the superficial level, they will stick around and they will be around.
Lisa asked about your blood pressure. I'm not sure if you answered this, but is it up to normal?
No, it's not up to normal. It's still, my systolic is still in the 100, 99, 100, 101. It's still low, and my you know, my kidneys diastolic is good. It's always in the 60 range.
What was it before you started mass fast? That range, same?
Yeah, it was in the same range. So I have, and then it dropped during the master fast. So I need work. Like I said, my kidneys didn't open up. I saw some sediment. You know, obviously we're all filtering to some degree, or else we'd be dead. But yeah, I didn't have the breakthrough yet. So, you know, that's fine. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's okay. You got to do more work. No big deal. No big deal.
iPhone is saying it's Kate in Atlanta.
It's
Kate.
Kate? Oh, okay, Kate.
Okay. What were the differences between, when you were on wet fast versus dry fast?
Well, yeah. Well, definitely when I had to actually take a shower on, when you get to the really high to push. So convert it to a wet dry, because dry is just really tough. So it helps you push a little bit longer. But then, Gina mentioned the tinctures. Some people can handle the alcohol, some people can't on the dries, even though you're not ingesting it, but you're still absorbing something in your mouth. So I guess the wet dry help push further, in my case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What books, articles could you recommend to deepen our knowledge about fasting and drinking cooked juice versus raw juice?
There is no books.
I'm having a hard time to reconcile drinking cooked juice full of sugar that is depleted of fiber.
Depleted of fiber.
That's Kate.
Yeah, Kate, this is the MasterFast system. This is a new revelation. This has not been taught ever before. We have to stop a digestive process to allow the body to cleanse itself. And when the body cleanses itself, because it goes into elimination mode when we stop digestion, the body is able to heal, not before. And the cooked juice is way stronger. It's in the frequently asked questions on the website and on the file of why we use cooked juice. We've been discussing this many times. It opens up the structure atomically to release its energy. We add lemon to create a gradient between the two. And plasmatically, it's got a strong gravitational magnetic field. And this is why it cleans better than anything else we've ever come across. It's not only the grape is one of the main ones. It's available in most places, but we can use a lot of the dark fruits, dark cherries, watermelon people have tried, guava, berries. What else have people tried? I don't know. There's no comparison. We go by results. We don't go by theory. We don't go by paper. We don't go by mainstream science. Our page has grown to over 17,000 in just over a year because of the results people are getting. Spine straightening out, people regaining their height, cancers disappearing, eyesight's returning, etc., etc., etc. Just read the testimonial files on the Facebook. There's tons in there that I've captured and a lot that I didn't. So, we had also a professional tennis player do 108 days, and she didn't lose much weight. She only was like 7 pounds in 108 days.
She lost the least weight.
She worked out every day, 5-6 hours
a day,
5-6 days a week, and she did a tournament. And she had to throw up in the middle of the tournament and go back to the tournament. So, everything's possible. Whatever we've been taught is bull crap, and we're showing it by results through what people are doing. And it's continuously growing at crazy rates, our page, because of the results. No other reason. There's no other reason. We strictly are focusing on results. No paper, no science. You will not see it on our page. We know within what's right and what's wrong. Answers are in plain sight if you look. Just like I gave the example of the bear. Answers in plain sight. They dry fast 7 months a year. No food, no water. And so do other animals that do this stuff. Any animal that's sick or injured, they dry fast. They don't water fast. They dry fast. They don't go looking for water if their leg's broken. They heal or they die, whatever. But this is the beauty and the cruelty of nature. If you look at it, whichever way you're looking at it, it needs to be that way to carry on the strong species of the genetics, or the species would die off if the weak carried on. In humans, we support all the weak genetics, and this is where we're at now. Every year, every generation, we're seeing weaker and weaker genetics in the new generations coming up. We see it clearly in the iridology in the eyes, clearly. The new generations are very weak. The people eating sad diets and living to 80, 90 years old, it's not going to be happening in the near future if that continues. It's only the strong genetics that carry these people into their 80s and 90s eating that way. Now you're going to see parents outliving their children. It's already happening because of the poor genetics. I hope that answers you, but we've talked about this many, many, many times in all the videos and the work we've done.
Okay. Did you notice any sleep changes, like needing less sleep, even?
Leading it varied. You know, sometimes I needed 8-10 hours, and sometimes 7, but it wasn't. You know, it didn't drop past 7 during my master fast. It didn't. I know for some people it might. You know.
Yeah, I think so. I believe a long time for the body to need less sleep, for when it becomes cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. Then I guess it requires less sleep, but it takes a long time, I believe.
Yeah, you know, in the massive fast, I usually anywhere from 4.5 to 7 hours sleep max, but you know, usually on the less side. And then every once in a while, your body needs extra, and you might go for 7, 8, 9 even. That's what I noticed. When I eat, I usually, you know, that I need that 7, 8 hours. There's a big difference for me.
Okay. Does anybody else have a question? You know, live question? You can ask us. You can speak.
How you doing, Lisa? You're looking better. You need to unmute. Right click on it. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Thanks for saying I look good.
Well, I see a difference. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, wow. You know, it's so weird. I feel a dichotomy of things. On one hand, I could say I feel lighter in my spirit and my body. On the other hand, I could say there are so many things that are weighing me down and negatively coming at me, whether it's physical pain, fear, or my very bad family situation that I'm dealing with that keeps adding new chapters every week. So I have that dualism happening right now.
Yeah. Well, that's great. It's a great experience. And we all go through that, you know, it goes in waves. That's fasting. But I definitely see a change in your aura.
It's really, you know, so on the positive side, so yeah, I feel these positive things and I'm feeling more comfortable in myself and writing goals about what I want in my life. And so I'm not so worried at times about the weight I am, which is probably around 90 pounds. I refused to weigh myself today. I just didn't even want to know. But so, you know, so then I question, well, is this how, you know, is this an okay weight to be? You know, is this just fine? And everybody's just judging me wrong about it.
Yeah, it's a challenge because of our society, but you just have to, you know, keep on the board, keep the support system happening with you, so you have that faith, and you know, because people are too ignorant to understand what we're doing. They're just too ignorant. You know, we've had so many people come on the page. Oh, this is an anorexia page. I'm out of here. It's total ignorance. Total ignorance. They have no clue. You know, no clue what we're doing.
And 2 days ago, I received a package in my mailbox from my mother who lives down the block. And it had a letter and 3 other letters from my siblings telling me that there would be another conference call held for all of us. And it probably was including a shrink again. And that I was supposed to read these letters because they're all worried about my health and not agreeing, and basically think I'm harming myself purposefully at this point, and have refused to believe otherwise. And they said in their letter that they're concerned for my entire family. So now I feel like they're being very threatening to how we're being to our children. And they are going to supposedly conference call about this every week from now on.
You look much calmer now than you did when I first talked to you, which was how long ago? How long has it been?
Oh, wow. 61 days ago.
Oh, wow. You're up there. Okay.
So you're 61
Awesome.
days now?
It's crazy. And
You're a different person. That's why I called you. Because I see the difference. And it's sad that people can't see that. They're just looking at the physicality of the weight loss. That's all they can see. Because they're blind to everything else. It's sad. It's sad that you have to go through this, and other people have to go through this with their own family. It's sad. And as I mentioned before, you got to cut them off. They're not going to support you 100%. Sorry, bye. It's sad, but hey, then when everything's settled and you start eating again, you can get back. But if they don't want to be supportive 100% of what you're doing, they can't be around you, because it's only going to make things worse for people having to think, being bombarded by all this. Meanwhile, they're already having a challenge going through this first crazy long fast, this thing called Master Fast. And they have to listen to all this as well. You know, once you get into this, and then you do your second, third, they won't bother you anymore. And you'll have way more confidence. It's the first one. It's very tough for a lot of people, especially when they got to deal with family members like this. It's sad. It's sad. Very sad. Our society is totally ignorant of how the body heals. Totally ignorant.
well, I've evaluated all sorts of different relationships and what these relationships provide in my life. And that's been fascinating, whether it's family or friends. And I've started to dissect, are they meaningful? And are we adding to each other's experience? Are you really listening to me? Do you care about who I really am? Or, or am I just there to serve you and be there to make you feel better about yourself? And so I'm getting a lot of perspective on that now.
Excellent. Like I said before, you're like a nervous wreck almost. You're much calmer now. You look more at peace, but you're dealing with all this stuff, and and that's where it gets challenging. But stay focused. Stay focused. You're doing great.
How many days? How many days are you, Lisa?
61 today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you start small already? You were already underweight?
I was, I think, about 104 when I started, or maybe 102.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stay focused right through, and be even more focused once you break the fast.
Yeah. And I've had trouble doing the 72-hour. I got some of that tachycardia happening, but I am going to be trying again next weekend, so I'm hoping.
Yeah, take it easy, take it slow. Use the tools that we can get to push yourself.
Okay, wait.
Who's got their mic open?
Marla.
Marla, you got your mic open.
Oh,
Hi, Marla.
hi. I'll close it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Lisa.
I'm just thinking if there's anything else I can add. This is my son right here.
Hi.
But we had we had a great day today, and for anybody who feels tired, just try putting one foot in front of the other, and that's what I did today. And I took myself to a farmer's market. passed by all the cooked food, made it to the organics, got my kids some good strawberries, and we made our way to a plant nursery later and picked up some butterfly friendly herbs and other plants, and then made it out to pick up more groceries because there was a sale today for Earth Day. So, and just stepped out for fresh air, and I've just been trying to connect with the outdoors, and when you think you can't go anymore, just stop, focus on your breathing, and then try to move a little more. And for other moms or people who are very busy and it's really hard to take a break, it's okay. You'll find that moment and you'll get to it. And last weekend, I took myself for the first time to a special Korean sauna here in Atlanta, and it was amazing. And I spent 4 hours there, and I went swimming in a saltwater pool by myself. And and then did 3 saunas, focused on my breathing, did some hot tubs, steam room, and got a massage.
Beautiful. Pamper yourself.
And burnt stick.
Awesome.
Lisa,
Yeah.
are you married?
I am. I've got a wonderful, very supportive husband. Yeah.
Well, that's all you need.
And 2 children?
3, actually. I've got 2 kids and a baby who's 1.
Wow.
So it's a lot. So when people say they don't know if they can do it, I live with a lot of physical pain and a lot of loudness, and I take care of my kids all day long, 7 days a week. So you can do it. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm also there to help.
Awesome.
I'm happy to hear your husband is there for you, because it's hard when your mom and your siblings are not. It's really hard. You don't want to fight, you just want to heal,
Stand your ground. That's it.
You don't
Stand
want to
your
be
ground.
fighting and spending your energy there.
Absolutely.
Somebody's asking, actually, Kate, she's saying, thank you, Lisa, for speaking up. How do you persuade a person who loves you and is concerned about your health? They don't believe the fast is beneficial. My partner thinks I'm harming myself.
Well, I like to give some advice about this to people regarding a lot of things too, regarding health, but I like to think about planting a seed, and education is everything. But I have learned with this that some people just don't want to listen in the end. However, if they truly care about you and are especially truly interested in who you are as a person, then they can come together with you. But you also have to meet them somewhere and find where they are. And so if it's starting really early at the beginning with watching some documentaries together, then start doing that. I started with watching Forks Over Knives with my husband, and then moving on to some other things, and then having conversations. I try to be respectful. I don't want to bombard him with so much, but I made a list yesterday even of what I want in my life. I wrote it down just by hand, and I brought it over to him, and I said, look, I wrote this down. What do you think? And this is how I feel. Do you feel the same? And do you want this with me? And it was great. And so it's so important to have those conversations. Also, as you start to learn new things about healing, you also have to build new memories together and new experiences. And we totally took apart what mealtime is, because it doesn't really exist, does it? So as a family, I also needed to take away burdens in my life to free up that energy for healing. And so dinners or any type of food time needed to be simple. So we started filling our dining room table with puzzles and games and buying new puzzles. And we're up to 1,000-piece puzzles now minimum. Yeah, we love playing games together. And walks, who needs to have a whole hour set aside or 2 hours for preparing and sitting down for a meal? And who wants to sit? You can get up and walk now. You can enjoy the best hours of the day. You can go run errands when you didn't have time, and you do them as a family. And it's totally new. And then I looked up raw food groups in my area, and I found one. And then the next week, they're planning a local hike. And so we got a hiking carrier for the baby, and we went out, and even on a dry fast for me, we did a hike, and I haven't hiked in 3 years. And on the hike, I got to meet really interesting people of all ages and all walks of life, new and old to raw food, and one was back from a Costa Rica retreat. And then they all brought fruit later to eat and talk with, and I brought my kids. So there doesn't have to be any rules anymore to how you do things, and make things limitless. Don't, if you're not doing something like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then don't use those words again. Who needs them? Don't use the word meal. I don't even use the word sugar anymore. I can't stand it. I make new memories, start with education, baby steps, and the people who want to learn will learn. The others, I'm having to deal with them right now. They can be hurtful. Try drawing your boundaries and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, well, you're definitely a different person than when I first did your first call. Big changes. Awesome. And table, you don't need a table. Eat standing up like I do. That's what I do. Whenever you're hungry, grab something to eat. You're done. Like all the animals do.
Yeah. And
awesome. Big changes, big changes. It's just begun. It's the doors have just opened now, and just commit to your life, and everything just keeps getting better and better and better. What's going on. Doesn't matter what other people say. You're doing things that you haven't done in years. What does that show?
The crazy thing is I've told these people too, and these are my closest family members. My mom and my siblings, and they didn't hear one word of it.
I know. Yeah.
I asked if I was allowed to be a raw vegan. My mother said no. I said, you see, that's why this conversation goes nowhere. I'm 41.
Where Master Fast is here to smash all the rules, all the belief systems.
And they don't even understand the fasting, so I haven't even.
Yeah, the last question from Kate: are your kids vegetarian? Hers refuse to eat, to be, and crave junk food.
That's another great question. Again, you plant the seed, but it all starts with education, and
Exactly.
every moment of our lives is educating, especially with our children. And if you don't teach them everything you're learning, then how can they possibly understand the most important things that there are to know in life? Because this is it now. I feel like if I'm here to teach them to live healthy lives, then I need to teach them everything about that. And So we talk about what everything actually is. We also talk about how I've been wrong in the past, because I've taught them things that I was learning from, whether it was doctors, naturopaths, integratives, functionals, you name it. They saw all the supplements. They saw the 6 shoe boxes full I used to keep in the kitchen. And I've told them outright, that was something that I thought was good at that time. And at this time, I've learned something different. And here's why I think this is right. And here's why, we're going to start eating this way. They know everything about organic, GMO. We have done some planting together. We talk about where things are grown. We use a lot of YouTube videos. If we buy a new fruit, we look it up on YouTube to see what it looks like when somebody in Thailand or Indonesia, what it looks like when they're eating it ripe, or how to cut it. Yesterday, we were watching videos on how to cut mangoes in all these different ways. And I would say, get them excited too. I mean, they have to be making the food, cutting the food. And you have to get the junk out. And whether you want to do that over a period of a week or you want to do it cold turkey, boom, it works. It's gone. My kids eat kelp noodles with zucchini and some coconut aminos now. That's a huge treat for them, and wakame flakes on top. And this is since January. But we've learned certain things about kids love sweet. So if you want to start with sweet, that's a great place to start. And just let them also guide the way. And I think all trips to buy produce should be family trips and fun. So, and you could talk about things too. And my kids know about, oh, hey, they say, hey, look at that person's cart. I think they might be a vegan. And actually, and this one day, the day that we did the hike, I had so much energy after the hike, we went food shopping straight after. And so my daughter says this to me, and I turn around to the guy, and I think, maybe she's right. So I said, hey, are you vegan? And he goes, yeah, I am. We start talking. I tell him about the raw food group I just found. And then all this great energy just starts coming out. And you just need to keep sharing that and trying out new things. And so
You're homeschooling?
we do, yeah.
Yeah.
We've turned everything on its head.
Yeah, it's a challenge with children if they're going to school with other children and everything, but it's always that the parent is responsible, and you need to lead and show by example. If the parent's not doing it, the children ain't going to do it for sure. So that's the way to do it.
We had an incident. My kids do take some classes outside the home, and there has been food products given to my kids, and I found out about it. They didn't tell me all the details, and it was a good learning experience for all of us. I already had actually told the teacher how we ate, and I was really surprised that she decided to do what she did, and that was a good lesson for me. But I do think that kids are smart, and again, if you arm them with knowledge, they'll make better decisions than they would without it. And then you can see what happens from there.
Yeah.
But with the schools, it is different. But just keep educating. Even talking to your kids about, hey, look what I ate as a kid. And gosh, I thought that was healthy. Grandma thought that was healthy. And what do we think about that now? What can you tell me about that food? Or where would you look to know more about it? Would you have to take the box and turn the box over and read the ingredients? So, there's a way, but it's all about education for sure.
My goodness, I wish I had a video of you before. So
Well,
you can see the difference.
I think I've been hearing this, but all of the things, I've heard this said, well, Lisa, maybe all of the things that you've gone through are leading up to now. They really are. And I've thought a lot about that recently, and that's it's a big thing, because all these decisions that I haven't made small decisions in my life. I've made some really big ones. and I've been through some really rough patches. But, you know, and so here's another one. And so they keep building for a purpose. And I'd like to make it be a purpose and not be a victim of those things.
Awesome. Okay, so we're past 9 o'clock. So Ivo and Lisa, we
thank you, Ivo, by the way.
for
Thank you, Lisa.
updating us. Thank you, Ivo. So we'll let you go eat some durian now.
Yeah, still too early.
Too early.
So, yeah, 8 o'clock, 8:07 here in the morning.
What time you start eating usually?
Well, coconut water around 11.
Okay, so you stay dry till 11. Good, nice.
Yeah, and then I don't know. First fruit meal depends on what's available. Maybe 1 o'clock, and then the last meal. It was 2 solid meals. The last meal, it depends. It depends. It could be from 5, sometimes all the way to 9. If whatever I'm moving and I don't have anything access to anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So we thank you for your time and your knowledge and your experience with everybody. That was good. You had a very unique experience. No crazy healing reactions or anything, right?
Yeah, no crazy other than, the head clogged up every day and my kidneys hurting in the latter part of the fast. So those are 2 things. No breakthrough in kidney filtration. I mean, major breakthrough, Wow. So, I got my work cut out for me.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Set that date.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a good experience, and do it again. And so I like to stay put, not travel when I do that. Yeah. I found that works best for me.
It would be, you'd have to really plan something out if you were going to travel. Maybe if you were somewhere for a few months in one spot.
Yeah.
But if you're moving around, it's a huge challenge with the extra stress of traveling. Huge challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
Not impossible. Did you fly dry?
Did I fly dry? No, not on this one, because this one I didn't. I could have, but you know what? The reason why I didn't, because in the U.S. I was getting a lot of durian, and I had 2 durians left over, and so I took them on the plane. And if you don't get the seat you want on the plane, and you want to get that window seat, just open your box of durian, and they move quick, and they ask for a seat change. So can help me out? No, but I was going to, and I didn't because. But I did fly. Well, it was only a 3-hour flight, but that day was my dry fast when I flew from Malaysia to Bali. But yeah, it's best because of the altitude and the food digestion. And
honestly, you travel dry, no matter what type of traveling, no matter how long.
Yeah.
If you're going to be traveling, let's say for tomorrow, no later than 12 noon. Don't do anything. Don't eat anything. You're done. Don't and travel, fly dry. The best. You don't have to worry about bathroom breaks, that, eating. It's and also the time change. You'll adjust faster, and you won't have any jet lag.
Yeah.
Some people are very sensitive with that. Plus the radiation, we're getting bombarded in the planes. When you're dry fasting, it's not an issue. Your body can handle it, neutralize it, because your field strength's higher. Anyway, thanks again for your time, sharing your experience. So we'll let you go, and keep us posted on the board whenever you can. I know you're traveling a lot. We'd like to see you there.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. And
all right.
I appreciate it.
Yep. Excellent. Have yourself a good day. We're going to be going to sleep soon, in an hour or so, and you're just starting your day in the future. We're in the past.
Yep. Greetings from the future.
All right, Ivo. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Easy. See you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.